Nintendo Switch 2 has finally been revealed by Nintendo, and while the hardware itself does confirm all the leaks that have happened, there seem to be many details that people aren't pointing out. And just like everyone else, I also have my own thoughts. In the beginning of the video, one of the first details that I noticed was the ratio between the size of the screen and the size of the body. While the screen size is big, there's still quite a bit of bezel, particularly on the sides. While this might be annoying for some people, the only benefit that I see is that when Nintendo does release an OLED model to this console, the screen might completely get rid of those bezels entirely. The next detail is the redesign of the ventilation. With the current Switch console, there isn't as much open area, but with this one, it seems to be a lot more open compared to what we have. And sitting right next to it, we do have the leaked secondary USB-C. After that, we finally get our first look at the kickstand opening up for the first time. But my only concern with this redesign is that it might break on the sides depending on how stiff the hinge is. Because with the OLED model that we currently have, and from my experience alone, the hinges do have some stiffness and do hold up on their own. But with how much less material is being used as the kickstand, my hope is that it doesn't make it too fragile, since less material might create less support. The next shot is when they show off the upgraded Joy-Cons, and the first thing I notice is that the orange that everyone was talking about isn't actually orange. It does seem like Nintendo is still sticking with the original red and blue color scheme, but this time, it's more like a pastel red and blue as compared to the original neon color scheme. And on top of this, the C icon on the heavily speculated C button is also missing in the render of the Joy-Cons. However, they're probably waiting until they showcase the software before officially showing anything. Something that they didn't show off in the trailer was the back buttons being used to detach the Joy-Cons. However, on their website, they do show it off, which I'll go ahead and show on screen. Afterwards, we get our first look at Mario Kart 9, and if you look closely, and it's very hard to catch, the game can support up to 24 players per game now, which is double to Mario Kart 8. Another thing I noticed is that Mario, and probably everyone else, has been redesigned as well. Granted, it's hard to tell considering that this wasn't a gameplay demo for a new game, so being able to 100% confirm this will be difficult, but for now I'll do a side-by-side comparison. The very last detail in terms of this console is that they give us some warning. Specifically, they stated that not all current Nintendo Switch games will work properly or may not work at all for their next system. Now, they're probably not saying that half of your library of games won't work, but rather games that require the sensor on the bottom of the Joy-Con may not work properly or at all. Outside of this console, we won't receive any more info until April 2nd, which is about 11 weeks away. Some people thought this was February 4th, since some countries like to flip the month and the day around, but Nintendo even confirmed on their website that it's April 2nd. As for my thoughts, it's very exciting to officially see this console from Nintendo themselves. The only upsetting part about all of this is due to the leaks, the reveal didn't have as much as a wow factor that most people probably wanted. But I'm still excited to see what they have planned. The interesting part is that the Switch 2 makes the original Switch look like a Switch Lite in terms of size comparison. And since the official reveal has happened, I do hope that the leaks do quiet down and won't happen for a while. But I'm also just very excited for April to not only see the software, the games and pricing, but also the release date. Which, considering that they're waiting until April, makes me believe that the console won't release until May, June, or July. But as of right now, it's time to play the waiting game. However, we are now at the end of today's video. If you enjoyed, then please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content, and leave a comment down below of anything you'd like to see me cover. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.